Take a moment to breathe, not to relax, but to stop running. Because most suffering doesn't come from what happens, but from the mind that never stays. It's always anticipating, defending, explaining, justifying, always running. Jesus didn't come to teach us how to run better. He came to teach us how to stop, to look directly at what we believe, to question the voice that keeps talking inside us, to discover that the cause of suffering is not outside. And I want to be very clear with you from the start. If you're listening to this waiting for life to change so you can stop suffering, you will keep suffering. Jesus was radically honest. It is not what happens to you that hurts you, but how you interpret it. And that changes everything, because then the problem stops being the world and becomes the mind that interprets the world. Jesus did not teach resignation. He did not teach endurance. He did not teach spiritualizing pain. He taught mental responsibility. He taught that every experience is an opportunity to choose either you reinforce fear or you remember love. And this is where real training begins. Because the mind doesn't suffer because it is weak. It suffers because it has been trained in confusion. Trained to believe it must defend itself. Trained to believe it is alone. Trained to believe that something outside has power over its peace. Jesus comes and says, you do not need to defend yourself. You are not alone. Nothing real can be threatened. But this is not understood intellectually. It is practiced. Most people want peace, but keep using the same tools that create war. They want peace, but keep judging. They want peace, but keep attacking themselves internally. They want peace, but keep believing someone else is responsible for how they feel. Jesus was not gentle with the ego's way of thinking. He was firm. He was direct. He was lovingly uncompromising. That's why he said, choose again. He didn't say, understand better. He didn't say, analyze more. He didn't say, explain it spiritually. He said, choose. Because suffering is not resolved through intellectual understanding. It is resolved through repeated inner decisions. There is something you need to hear today, even if it feels uncomfortable. Suffering is a mental addiction. Not because you consciously want it, but because the mind has grown accustomed to interpreting through fear. And every addiction is sustained by unquestioned repetition. Jesus came to break the repetition. Every time you choose to think the same way, you reinforce the habit. Every time you choose to pause, to listen again, to hand the thought over to spirit, you break the chain. That is a miracle. Not something mystical, something practical. A miracle is a shift in perception. Jesus did not promise a fair world. He promised that peace does not depend on the world, and that is liberating, but also confronting, because then you can no longer keep blaming. You can no longer keep waiting. You can no longer postpone peace until everything is resolved. Jesus looks at you and says, peace is now, or it is not. Not because the situation is perfect, but because your mind can choose again now. Let's go deeper. The mind suffers because it believes it knows, believes it understands, believes its interpretation is correct. Jesus comes and says, you do not know. And far from being an insult, this is liberation. Because if you don't know, you can learn. If you don't know, you can listen. If you don't know, you can let go of the burden of being right. The ego needs to be right in order to survive. Love does not. That's why Jesus didn't argue, didn't defend himself, didn't justify himself. He simply saw differently. Every time you suffer, there is a key question you can ask yourself. What am I believing right now? Not, what happened? Not, who failed? Not, why did they do this to me? What am I believing? Because what you believe is what you feel. Jesus was very clear. By their fruits you will know them. If there is anxiety, the belief is fear. If there is guilt, the belief is attack. If there is anger, the belief is separation. And none of those beliefs come from God. Here comes one of the most powerful and least understood teachings of Jesus. Suffering is not noble. It does not make you a better person. It does not bring you closer to God. Suffering is simply a signal that the mind is believing something that is not true. Nothing more. And a signal's not punished. It is corrected. Jesus did not glorify pain. He glorified loving correction. Most people believe that letting go of suffering means losing something. Losing control, losing identity, losing stories. And yes, you will lose stories. Stories where you are the victim. Stories where you are right. Stories where the other is guilty. But you lose nothing real. You lose mental weight. Jesus said, "My yoke is light." Light not because there is no training, but because you are no longer carrying what is not yours. Let's be clear. You are not here to fix the world. You are here to heal your perception of the world. That is what Jesus did. He did not change the Roman Empire. He did not change political structures. He did not eliminate external violence. He changed the mind from which the world is seen. And that changed everything. Every time you choose not to attack internally, every time you choose not to defend yourself, every time you choose not to justify yourself, you are following Jesus' training. That is discipleship. Not repeating phrases, not quoting texts, not looking spiritual, training the mind. And here I want to tell you something very directly. If you don't practice, there are no results. Jesus did not teach theory. He taught consistent practice. Watch and pray. That doesn't mean praying more. It means watching the mind and handing over what you see. Every thought that takes away your peace is a thought you can hand over. Not debate it, not analyze it, not improve it. Hand it over. And here the ego screams, "But I'm right." Jesus responds, "Do you want to be right, or do you want peace?" That question is not philosophical. It is daily. It is concrete. Suffering ends when you stop using it as identity. When you stop saying, "This is who I am. This always happens to me. That's just how I am." Jesus did not reinforce identities built on pain. He dissolved them. Rise and walk. That wasn't only physical, it was mental. Stop lying down in the story. There is a part of you that already knows all this. A part that does not argue. A part that does not defend. A part that does not suffer. Jesus called it the kingdom of heaven. And he said something essential. The kingdom is within you. It is not built. It is remembered. That's why this training is not about improving your personality. It is about disidentifying from it. Not about being a better ego, but about stopping the belief that you are the ego. Suffering does not gradually disappear when you understand it. It disappears instantly when you choose again. And then it comes back. And you choose again, and it comes back. And you choose again. That is the path. Not perfection, consistency. Jesus does not ask you to never feel fear. He asks you not to hide it, not to justify it, not to turn it into truth. Bring it to me. That is true prayer. Not asking for something outside to change, but handing over the interpretation. And here is one of the most liberating truths. You do not need to heal your entire life today. Only this thought, only this moment, only this interpretation. The ego wants totality in order to postpone. The spirit works in the now. If you are tired, it's not because you're doing the path wrong. It's because you're carrying too much. Jesus does not ask you to carry. He asks you to hand it over. I'll leave you with this, so you can repeat it, practice it, embody it. I am not here to suffer. I am not here to defend myself. I am not here to be right. I am here to see differently. And that is following Jesus, not as a historical figure, but as the mind trainer of love. And now, breathe again. Not to relax, but to stay. Because peace does not arrive. It is remembered, and it is always, always closer than you thought.